I'm going to try to get through this without breaking down. No guarantees here, but I'm going to do the best I can. I've got somebody back there. I'm not going to say who it is, but they're going to give me the, if I start getting a little bit fertile. First of all, I'd like to thank every one of you for coming. We have a beautiful day here. I know it's coming on the holiday season and our time's precious and we have a lot of responsibilities, but I'm very grateful to have you here as a tribute to Robyn and her legacy. So thank you very much. I'd like to have a special thanks to Greg and Sally Palmer for letting us host this thing at their beautiful home here. It's gorgeous, and they've done a lot of work. I know Sally and her 3 daughters spent a lot of time helping, as well as Della, wherever you are. Raise your hand, Della, where are you? Back there. Della Hayden, she contributed quite a bit, I'm told. So thanks, Della. Anyway, thanks, Palmers, for having us here. I also want to thank Doug Hayden. Doug did a lot of legwork at my request, and he volunteered and did it to get everybody's information and get a hold of you all so that you could be here. So Doug, thanks very much. Appreciate it. Get a 1 star for that. Inside joke. Okay. Little brief background. Robyn and I met Robyn at the City of Santa Ana. We both worked there. I was working in the city manager's office, and Robyn was working in development, business side of the city. And it was just a hi, how are you? You'd see each other in the hallway, and that was pretty much it. Well, one day the occasion occurred. We had a big tent fundraiser, all the heavy hitters of political, business, and legal people there. President Ford was there, as a matter of fact, so you can picture it. And so the city manager came up to me and asked me if I would escort her to this event. And I said, sure, that sounds great. So Robyn and I didn't realize I had to have a tux, so I wore a tux. She looked all dolled up. And we went and we had a great time. And so a couple days later, I thought, well, I'll take a chance, and I gave her a call and asked her if she wanted to go to dinner. That was the most important telephone call I think I ever made, because she agreed, and the rest is history from there. So that's how basically it worked. We were married 33 years, a lot of fond memories. In any event, she was a wonderful person, and you may hear that from others who've known her even longer than I do. But in any event, she left me with 2 invaluable gifts. First one was her unconditional love. And secondly, she really did help mold me into a better human being, clearly, in terms of the way I view life and I view people. So thanks, honey, for that. Very, very big. I want you all to enjoy yourself. This is a celebration of life. So I know if she was here, she would be humbled and embarrassed by all this. But I think she also would want us to all have some fun. So laughing, please. Get to know and refresh memories of old friends or some that you just met. And at this point, it's an opportunity for anybody out there who's known Robyn or was impacted by her or have any linkage to her. Please come on up and share those memories with this group. I would appreciate it very much. And I'll leave it here. Oh, sorry. Back up. There's a couple of things I'm supposed to read here. One of them is a short poem. Racing minds going crazy. I'm going to read this very short poem, so stick with it here. Somewhere a journey begins at the end of the worldly existence we know. Somewhere a path stretches over the stars and rivers of memories flow. Somewhere a silence is heard far away and the brightness of day fills the night. Where the trials of life are resolved into peace when a soul finds its way to the light. I don't have the credit on who wrote that. It's a nice little passage. And then this one here is a little longer. I received, as you would expect, a ton of sympathy cards. But this one had a sentiment that I thought was particularly poignant, and I want to share it with you. It's a little longer than that first one. And guys, bear with me here. This is kind of geared at the ladies out there, because the front of the card says, if, for girls. Okay? If you can live each day with the assurance that a girl, quote unquote, is something wonderful to be, if you can find a way to meet your problems with courage and with true maturity, if you can be attractive and in fashion, yet never swayed by any vulgar style. If you can choose the finer things life offers, rejecting what is worthless with a smile. If you can guard the principles you live by, hold fast to truth, and honor all life through, and stand for right in every situation, no matter what the world may say or do. If you can try to offer hope or comfort to those who seem to need a helping hand. If you can do some little act of kindness, or say a word that shows you understand. If you can take delight in little children and be a friend to older folks you know, can give you warmth and deepest understanding, to fill the lives of those who love you so. If you can practice all the arts of living with gracious kindness and with real integrity, you're bound to be a happy person, always, and the lovely woman you were meant to be. That kind of sums up Robyn in a lot of ways, and there are many other ways to characterize how she's thought of by all of us in here that knew her one way or another. She was a very special individual, and I was very, very fortunate to have known her. So with that, I'm prepared to turn this over to the next volunteer speaker. Come on down, don't be shy. If I can do this, you all are. Trust me. Okay, come on ahead. You got it, yes. Thank you.
Boy, that card personified Robyn.
Got it. There you go.
My name's Cindy. I'm part of the Santa Ana tribe. We met 40 years ago. When I look back at the dates, it was like, that cannot possibly be. Robyn looked far too young for that. We must have been, I don't know, 12 years old when we started working. She was one of the first people I met. She worked in economic development. She was all about business development, promoting the city, doing good things. We were a hard-charging crew at City Hall, but the one thing about Robyn was she was always up for a lot of fun. She was spontaneous, and she loved to have a good time and make everybody feel good about what they were doing. And she was a little bit of a prankster. We got in a little bit of trouble now and then, but she was just a great friend from day one. We shared a lot of laughs, a lot of frustrations at work, as you can imagine. We had tons of family therapy sessions. Oh my gosh, we used to do competitive talent shows. Oh boy, was she competitive. One time I remember, Debbie Carita was one of our clan. We got up in front of a bunch of people at City Hall and sang some song from the 60s. We were motorcycle chicks. We used to do a lot of crazy things at City Hall. The other big thing was, well, Robyn, as you know, is like the world's best fashionista. Does anybody get any better than Robyn at fashion, right? And so it was the annual trek to the Nordstrom's pre-fall sale. We would take every Friday off that it hit on. We'd get there like at 7 o'clock in the morning, and Robyn had it all set up for us. We had private rooms, and we had people waiting on us hand and foot, and we all spent thousands of dollars. And it was like, I don't know, Debbie, what, an 8-hour day? I mean, it was crazy. But it was always so much fun. And then a group of us started hanging out at this really beautiful spa that went in across from the Bowers Museum. Nina Monte's spa, do you remember her? Yeah, Joseph was like, yeah, every guy remembers Nina Monte. Nina Monte was gorgeous. But she had this beautiful zen little place. It was an older home that she had renovated. And we were kind of always, of course, the rebels. We would go there and drink and eat and talk and laugh, and other people are there trying to be quiet. And so finally she started shooing us out to the patio. But we did that for years and just had some of the best times as friends together. So a lot of memories. There are just too many to even recall today. But what I did, I asked some of our friends from Santa Ana to give me one word to describe Robyn. And I know that's really hard. But I got a great list of words, and I think you'll definitely agree with them. First is elegant, kind, brilliant, fun, caring, angel, thoughtful, friend, warm, classy, together, and charming. And that doesn't capture everything about Robyn, but I think it gets pretty darn close. And then Mike shared with me that recently at their club in Arizona, of course they're very, popular there, Robyn was named most inspirational by the club. And she received a 3-minute standing ovation after giving her, this is posthumous or whatever the word is. How do you say that word? After death award. But Mike was extremely touched, and rightfully so. And I would say that about Robyn. She always searched for the best in people. She was I'm not going to cry. She was a great mentor, and she kept us all together. She was kind of the glue in our work group, and always with a smile. So she's shining down on us today, and she'll forever be in my heart. Thank you. Somebody take this.
My name is Joseph Edwards, and I'm part of the Santa Ana clan that Cindy was mentioning. But one of the things that I wanted to share with you is that my career, I owe to Robyn Uptegraff. I started at the city as an intern in development. And I will tell you all of those things that you listed to describe Robyn. There's a few others I could add. Having worked and reported to Robyn, she was tenacious, she was fair. And in me, she took some pretty big stretches to allow me to take on responsibilities that helped me with my career. And Santa Ana is a crazy place. I remember days with Dave Green and meeting with folks out in the field, and it would get a little contentious, and then Robyn would say, Joseph, take care of it and report back to me. And I would do that. And we developed a really good friendship. I will say that friendship grew, and then over time I left the city, and I got a call one day when I'm in Niagara Falls from Robyn Uptegraff, and she said, hey, why don't you come work at the Irvine Company? And at the time, Cindy Nelson had just taken over as planning and building director. And so I called Robyn back and I said, absolutely not. And as you know, Robyn, the tenacious part was that was the wrong answer. And she called me literally that weekend on my vacation. And then when I said no for the 5th time, she had a person named Dan Young give me a call. And together I couldn't say no. And then I took the job at the company and got a chance to work with Robyn. And then my first day at the company, this is interesting, she arranged a meeting on the 9th floor right next to Mr. Brent's office. And I got a chance to sit there and meet all of the executives. I didn't know that they were actually grilling me. And with her elegance and suave nature, she made that the most enjoyable meeting I think I've ever had. And the view was just like this. It was just absolutely beautiful. And we had disagreements because we were in the development business. And I remember many meetings that we would go to, Robyn would say to me, just don't screw it up. And then we had a couple of council meetings where I would go with Robyn, and then I would get ready to go out, and it was her time to speak, and she'd say, Joseph, how do I look? And I would say, you look great, Robyn, and she would go out and do her thing. But for me, the loss was huge. There's a hole in my heart. When I got the news, it was difficult because I always hear her voice, and she would always give me confidence to think that I could do anything in the world, even though I knew I couldn't. And to this very day, when I started at the company, I'm sorry, I'm getting long here, but when I started at the company, the first day there, she said, okay, Joseph, I want you to take this project, and it was in the Irvine area, and she said, I want you to know something about it. I go, what? She said, we got sued on that project. I said, oh wow, that's terrible. She said, yeah, it is terrible. We got sued, and Mr. Brent fired everybody. And that's your project. And I'm sure you will shepherd it through well. And this is right after I had agreed to say yes, after my vacation. So I will miss her tremendously, but there will always be a part in my heart. And Mike, always know that everybody in this room is your friend. If you need anything, just give us a call. And to all my friends in Santa Ana, it's so good to see you. And I think Robyn would want us to celebrate because she had the best laugh ever. So let's laugh today. Thank you.
You don't have a lot of time.
I don't have a lot of time? Sue told me I had no time. So I think I'm Doug Hayden, and I've known Mike and Robyn for about 12 years, which isn't a long time because I understand that one of his kindergarten, or Mike's kindergarten classmates is here today. That's not a long time. I'm going to talk from a different perspective a little bit, because I'm going to talk, I knew Mike mainly through golf, with a carving 3-iron that everybody wanted. But I'm also going to talk because lots of what I'm saying here is an expression of how Mike looked at Robyn. So I'm going to try to capture that as best I can. And I hope you'll bear with me until I find my glasses. My wife is still here, so I gotta hope. Okay, so this is called A Moment with Robyn. As most in this room, and all who knew her understood, A Moment with Robyn was not just a gift. It was a reveal. Somehow, each of those moments were packed with wisdom, insights not considered, deep compassion, and a sense of love and respect not bounded by time. She had this wisdom, which was grounded in instinct, nurtured by humility, and enshrined by forgiveness. In any moment with Robyn, her smile, which we've heard about, and warm embrace gave each of us a glimpse into the joy she wanted to share and the generous spirit which defined her character. While these moments were all personalized and differed in their content, they were often punctuated with a signature ending: "You're the best." A simple declarative phrase, yet it somehow felt different. It felt and was genuine. You felt special, and it often made that moment translate into a better day, a better week, and perhaps a better life. Getting the good things in life that you never earned is called grace. Significantly, grace is most often defined through the prism of faith. Without dispute, Robyn was God's instrument of grace to so many who walked for a moment into Robyn's finite time here on earth. Her example of grace is evident vividly, and we've already heard some of that, in the lifetime friends she so cherished. Many shared those inevitable moments of searing pain or loss and disappointment, gradually soothed by the assurance of faith ministered by a friend who always understood and cared deeply enough to be there. Perhaps the most impressive and singularly noteworthy gift which Robyn shared with us all was her love and devotion to this rascal we affectionately call Upty. They had a journey filled with life's smiles, challenges, and disappointments. And yet, they were a beacon of encouragement and inspiration for how enormously powerful and rewarding love can be. Robyn's patience, encouragement, and sustaining trust was the nucleus of a formula which filled and enriched Upty each day. Not sure about the 3 R's, but it was there. We were all blessed to see firsthand the love they fostered and the enormous respect they had for each other. For Upty and all of us, Robyn left deep, deep footprints in life's sandbox for us to walk in as we shape our own lives. Just as water in a pond will reflect the image of one's face. The way you live your life reflects the character and content of your heart. Robyn's heart was filled with humanity, filled with joy, filled with humility and integrity, filled with acceptance, and filled to the brim with genuine kindness and love. Robyn's voice is quieted now, but her love notes, framed over a lifetime, are etched forever in our memories. She is with God now, and yet the echoes of her character and her inescapable message of love, acceptance, and grace will always resonate in our thoughts as we celebrate her life well lived.
That's going to be hard to follow, and the other ones are very hard to follow. Can you hear me? Mm-hmm. Well, I've had the pleasure of I'm Greg Palmer, and this is Sally's house. And I'm Greg. I'm Sally's husband, Greg. And so, as she and the girls were getting ready for this, and as I was, like, honey, do this, honey, do that. I was kind of part of the labor to do some of this. I had the pleasure of helping to set up some of these pictures around the room, right? And I had the pleasure of watching the television set over and over again and watch the pictures, right? And I think the three things I want to say about Robyn is when you look at the pictures, take a moment, and if you can, just look at the pictures that are on the television set, that are on the back table. There's some pictures of her when she was a cheerleader. There's a picture of her with her three brothers. And you can see, without a doubt, this genuine smile and this genuine love of this lovely girl, this lovely woman, right? And so I just have you think about, and when you look at her smile, it's just special. The second thing I would have you do is when you look at the pictures, look at all of the people in the pictures that are smiling. When she walked into a room and when she was with people, you just had a natural tendency to smile. And the thing I think about friendship is, why does she have so many friends? Everybody here came from far and wide to be here, and when you look at the history of these pictures, why does she have so many friends? And I believe it is because she knew the value of friendship, and she was always the first one to extend her hand and her heart in developing those relationships. And as you mentioned, she was always there and had everybody's back, right? And had you believe that she could, that you could do pretty much anything. And the third thing I would have you think about is, if you look at some of these pictures, there's a person in these pictures. There's a rascal. There's a rascal in these pictures, and he doesn't look like this anymore. I don't know if you guys can see this in the back, but this is
He used to play basketball.
this is a picture of that night that Uptegraff talked about. This is a picture from that night when they met. So I would just have you guys celebrate the picture, celebrate, and thank you for coming.
wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow.
This guy was doing this for us, right? It's so old, rap. So what?
So dear to the light, oh, why can't I? Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like a lemon drop, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. Love